Hi everybody, my name is Tabitha. I'm a certified trichologist and fine-haired specialist, and we are talking about am I using the right shampoo? This is probably the number one question that I get. And first I would say that your hairstylist should be telling you exactly what you need. They should know your scalp type, they should know your hair type, and give you those recommendations. However, if your hairstylist is not doing that, then I'm going to tell you today. So there are three types of scalp. There's oily, normal, and dry. Unless you are having scalp issues like psoriasis, eczema, seborrheic dermatitis, then you wouldn't need special shampoos for those, right? So today I am just talking about oily, normal, and dry scalp and what you should use for your hair. Now, I specialize in fine hair and fine thinning hair, but if you have any questions about thicker hair or coarser hair, you can leave them in the comments below, but for this, I'm probably going to just be talking about fine hair. Now, most curly haired people have fine hair as well. So I'm covering a big gamut here. So oily scalp. So if your hair is oily by the end of the day, first we kind of need to figure out why your scalp is getting oily by the end of the day. Now this could be genetic. If your hair's always gotten oily by the end of the day, this is genetic for you. If all of a sudden you're getting more oily by the end of the day and you don't know why, we need to look at medication. We need to look at, do you smoke? Do you have a high-fat diet? Are your hormones off? So those can be things that could cause you to produce more sebum in that hair follicle and make that hair more oily. So unfortunately, if you have oily scalp, then you need an extra step. So you need a pre-wash treatment for your scalp. And what that's gonna do, in the salon, I use an XTC product called Scalp Prep, and it is a pre-wash service. So you're putting it on your scalp when your scalp is dry. And it's gently removing or pulling out excess sebum in the hair follicles and things that are getting caught onto the scalp. It's going to remove some hard water, product buildup, and gently remove those. We are going to put that on about 10 minutes before we wash. Another good one is the oily scalp treatment by Moroccan oil. That one's a very good one too, kind of does the same thing. So we are going to do that extra step, and usually people will have to do that every time before they shampoo. Now, if your hormones get back to normal, if you go off that medication or your body gets used to that medication, you might not have to use it forever. But for those of you with that genetic disposition of having that oil on your scalp, this might be something you'd have to do. Now, if you are having oily scalp, I would suggest getting on a shampoo that actually balances the pH of the scalp. So usually those are shampoos for hair loss, because a lot of companies their shampoos are made for the hair. And so they don't put a lot of ingredients that are for the scalp. They just are for the hair. I have seen some companies that are getting better at this and putting good ingredients for the scalp in their shampoos. And so that's great. So people are thinking about this and doing more of this. But a hair loss shampoo or something like Nutrafol is a really good one. It will balance that pH of the skin. Evolus, I have seen really good results with Evolus as well. And so those would be the ones that I would recommend if you have an oily scalp. Now, if you have a normal scalp If you can go 2 or 3 days without washing, you don't get itchy, you don't get flaky, you don't have any scalp symptoms at all, and your scalp is normal, I would go with a shampoo that is for your hair type then, if we're really not having any issues with your scalp. Now, I would stay away from sulfates because that is a detergent and it could really dry out your scalp and dry out your hair. And I would stay away from silicones because that's actually going to give you more oil on your scalp and more oil on your hair and make it flat. So go with, if you have fine hair, thickening shampoos. If you have curly hair, curly shampoos, because they have more lipids in them. In curly shampoos, they have more lipids. So it's helping your hair with frizz and static and all those kind of things. So that is for normal hair. So if you have dry scalp, then unfortunately you need an extra step as well, but it would be more of a post shampoo. So for your shampoo, again, I would recommend a hair loss shampoo. I know it's gonna seem silly because if you don't have any hair loss and you just have like this tons of hair going on, it would seem silly to use a hair loss shampoo, right? But what it does is it balances the pH of the scalp. And you have to have it balanced in order to not have oil and not have dryness. So it makes sense. So again, Nutrafol, Evolus, those ones are great. So after you shampoo, you condition, and we are going to use either, we're going to use a post-wash treatment. We are going to use the Stress Reliever by Nutrafol, which balances the pH. It's going to, when I look under the microscope, the scalp when it's dry, not only do people have flakes and really dry skin that flakes off, but they also have like pinching of the skin. It looks pinched, it looks tight, you know? And so it feels really good when you're using it. So applying this to the scalp, you just leave it in. You don't wash it out. It feels really good. It's weightless. It doesn't make your hair greasy, oily, like you don't even know that it's in your hair. So the Stress Reliever by Nutrafol is great. And the Living Proof Dry Scalp Treatment is great too. It's almost like a face serum. And again, lightweight, you don't even know it's there. I have a lot of clients use it on if they have psoriasis patches too, because some people in the wintertime, I'm in Minnesota, some people in the wintertime will get little psoriasis patches, and just literally like one drop of it on there just eases the itch and burn and all of that to it. So those are great. Again, if you have dry scalp, I would suggest a pH balancing hair loss shampoo as well. So those are my recommendations for the shampoos. I will put in the comments that list of products and then a list of the shampoos and products that I recommended during this video. All right, I'll talk to you soon.